Welcome to the Crypto Campfire.
There are two parts of a Village People cover band, Mitch and the Professor, featuring special guest, Gerry the Rhythmatician.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Crypto Campfire podcast. This is the Professor.
And Mitch.
And today we're going to be talking with our good friend Gerry. You might know him on Twitter as the Rhythmatician currently. We understand he'll be rebranding himself in 2020, so that may not be accurate in the near future. But before we start talking to Gerry, let's grab a quick look at that crypto news from the Crypto Gent.
Thanks, Professor. Hello, Crypto Campfire listeners, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News. And a flash with the Crypto Gent. CoinMarketCap now provides crypto investors with data on liquidity. Alibaba has partnered with Lolly to allow US shoppers to earn Bitcoin. And in the Netherlands, police have arrested founder of blockchain startup company that raised over $80 million. That's the Cryptocurrency News in a flash with the Crypto Gent. And it's back to you, Professor.
Thanks a lot, Crypto Gent. Well, Mitch, that little news bit there about Lolly, that's pretty cool. We actually just released that episode with Matt.
Yes.
And then they put that news out there yesterday that they partnered with Alibaba, which is really cool.
It is, especially since we just had him on. It's even more cool.
It was like perfect timing the day because we were already releasing it that day. So
yeah.
It's funny because if you remember back in the early Tron days, like 2017.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, well, even 2018, people were still talking about this.
Yeah.
Because Justin Sun went to Hupine University, and so Jack Ma is associated with that. And so everybody was like, Tron is going to get the partnership with Alibaba. And then every time Tron had a announcement, that was what people assumed. They're like, that's who the partnership is. It's coming. It's finally here.
Oh, yes, I do remember.
Yeah,
okay.
It's great. And then all of a sudden, Lolly gets it. I fucking love that.
Right. There was so much hype surrounding Tron back then, and it was always like, that was when the whole announcement before the announcement thing came to be.
I love it. It makes me happy, though. I like Justin Sun just because he's entertaining, if nothing else.
Well, there's a lot of people in this space that are entertaining, but I guess it depends on what level of entertainment you're looking at.
Right,
here.
exactly.
Some people can be entertaining like funny, haha, or some people could just be really entertaining.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That being said, is it fucking cold enough for you or what?
No, it's not. It's actually nice because since I just got an elk yesterday, I can just.
Well, yeah, there's benefits to it. I'm not saying that, but my
no,
digits.
It's cold as fuck, and I'm not ready for winter. Let's just put it that way.
God, it's only the first week of November. Usually, it doesn't get this till I don't know, mid to late December.
Yeah, right. Although I don't know what you're talking about though. This is not. I mean, I guess that's normal for me here though.
Well, yeah, but Michigan's usually, 30s, 40s, maybe some mid 20s up until like the end of December. And then usually it starts dropping a little bit more. And just January is usually our sub-zero month, January and February. So to have this in early November, yeah, it's a little, I got caught with my leaves down, so to speak. But I did get them raked up and burned before the snowfall. So I felt really accomplished with my stuff then, but yeah, I got that done. I felt so good. Yeah, thank goodness all went away as soon as I got my truck stuck on the snowy day. Anyway,
we were talking to Gerry a little bit before we started here, and it sounds like it's a little warmer there.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Maybe if we have a podcast with him, it'll warm us up a little bit.
Hey, let's see. Let's find out. What kind of fire are you going to bring to us, Gerry?
What's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate you having me on. I'm just going to bring some just new ideas. I think some are not that new anymore, but I've been in this space for like 3 years. I got my first Bitcoin, I think it was Christmas Eve 2016. I just lost my job, and I was messing around with some app, and I finally earned enough Satoshis where they're like, you can take it out and put it in your own wallet. And I still have that Bitcoin to this day. That's a good argument right there for why cryptocurrency is better. I still have that exact same amount of Bitcoin in one of my wallets on one of my devices, and that will save the same amount for infinity forever because there's no fees. No bank's going to go in there and take a little bit of it every month or every year or anything like that. It will remain the same till the end of the universe, literally. So I have great ideas to bring to the space. I think we're all ready for it, and I'm just excited because I think I bring a lot to the table.
That's awesome, man. Well, you sound excited. So anytime I start talking to somebody and they have that much passion coming out already before they even started talking about anything, it's usually a good sign. So I'm looking forward to hearing some of your new ideas. But I know you just kind of told us when you got your first Bitcoin. How did that really come to be? Like, how did crypto sort of come to your knowledge, and then what hooked you?
So I guess it was about right before I lost. I don't know if it was before I lost my job or right when I did lose my job, but I just started like reading about it and like watching some documentaries, and then I got another job and forgot all about that little bit of Bitcoin, and that was the bull run year. And then all of a sudden that 40 cents worth of Bitcoin was all of a sudden worth like $2. And I was like, what the F is going on? And I was like, Bitcoin was just going nuts. And then I fell down. I bought a couple Litecoin, and then I bought 2 more Litecoin, and I made like $1,000 in like 5 days. And my mind was blown wide open about like how quickly you could earn money in cryptocurrencies. And then everything changed. From that moment on, I was like, you could be a millionaire, Gerry. I was like, wait a second, I could be a billionaire. I'm like, wait, that's not possible. And then I like started running numbers. I was like, wait a second, you could be a billionaire if you do this just right. And the way things are looking with China, I think my dream of potentially maybe being, the king of crypto someday is very possible. That's my goal. My portfolio
Nice.
is insane.
Are you going to have a crown made if you get there?
Probably not, because I'll probably just buy more Bitcoin. That's probably what'll happen.
Digital crown.
Yeah, I just tell people I'm a BTC-centric crypto maximalist. So, I just respect the king of crypto, which is Bitcoin. And I just realized there'll be lots of coins out there. I just tell people that who are maximalists that I don't know why you're crying so hard for one coin. People like choices. Just look at throughout history. Look at just currency economics. Look at and that alone, there's over 400 paper currencies. Then just look at coins. There's like hundreds of thousands of types of coins in the world, from silver coins to platinum coins to gold coins to ancient Roman coins. So I tell people there's going to be lots of coins for a long time. I tell people, here's an idea that nobody's been talking about. You know what? There's too many of. There's too many damn exchanges. There's 21,110 as of like a day or two ago. Think about that one. 21,110 exchanges. That's where all the fraud happens. That's where all the hacks happen. That's where all people lose their money because it's something run by a bunch of dummies that don't know anything about security or actually like holding keys, et cetera, et cetera. So my argument is there's too many damn exchanges. Let's trim that down to maybe like 5,000 exchanges.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. There's definitely too many exchanges, but I will say that one thing that we're going to have to get used to and that we're going to have to adapt to in a distributed system is there being way too much of everything. Because in a truly distributed system, anybody can make anything. Anybody can be a part. Anybody can participate. And so there's going to be there's going to have to be a shift in the mindset of people, and they're going to have to be more responsible for themselves, and they're going to have to do better research, and they're going to have to be more cautious about what they get involved in, because right now our entire society is revolved around protecting ourselves from ourselves, and we're going to have to change that. We're going to have to start protecting our own goddamn selves. And if we don't start protecting our own goddamn selves, we're going to end up in this situation where we are right now, except it's going to be with crypto.
Dude,
you're right.
I gotta ask this question, dude. Did you take a caffeine enema before you started today? Holy shit!
No,
Most people have a couple of beers because they're all nervous and shit, and you're like the freaking Chihuahua on crack, man. Like fucking. I was like, whoa, wait, man, the energy coming out of this computer's killing me. Right now. Shit.
I smoke as much pot as Kenn Bosak does. So I literally start really high. So that's me being like on lots of pot and some dabs. So that's how passionate I am about crypto and crypto economics.
I love
That's a
it.
good thing though. It's funny because sometimes they start out real slow. Like most podcasts start out pretty slow, and we just like working into it. And people are undressing their nerves, if you will, and they're finally getting into it. And
not this guy. He jumped out of the fucking cake.
There's fireworks and shit.
Oh yeah.
I was in Disney for a minute.
I'm bringing the fun stuff. I'm gonna bring it, knowledge and make it exciting at the same time. But yeah. Oh, another thing is I'm very excited to be on right after Lolly gets to deal with Alibaba. Lolly is the winner of the killer app. Like they win killer app. Because if you don't realize that Bitcoin is literally in like another couple of months going to just shoot up, because when people buy stuff on Alibaba, they're not buying like $20 worth of like Amazon crap. They're buying like $400 worth of like pens or like $1,000 worth of these parts. They're going to be earning a lot of Bitcoin back.
There's a lot of really big business money that goes through that company. And those big businesses love getting extra money or extra benefits from their shit. They're going to be all over that.
Oh, yeah. And I'm very excited. And the other thing is, I want to put out there that Max Keiser kind of was hinting that, like, he said this was the crypto space race. I've been saying this is the crypto space race for 2 years. You can check all the guys with Morgan Creek Digital. I tweet with them all the time. I've been saying China's lying about this. They are loving crypto. They're going to come out with their own cryptocurrency sometime in the next 6 months. And boom, here we are. China's like, surprise, we love crypto. Yeah, duh. Like,
yeah, we talked about this on the podcast. We recorded, was it yesterday, Mitch, with the McAfees? Or no, it was Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. It was Saturday.
Saturday. God, clearly I'm way out of whack on my schedule. But yeah, we just talked about that with them. And that was what Janice, that was her thought too. And we concur is that, they were holding out. Why would you want to jump in and accept everything when you as a country could turn it around a little bit, ban some stuff, and then get your fingers on everything and then accept it?
Exactly.
Of course they're going to say they don't like fucking crypto. Of course they want to make their own. They want to have their hands in every single cookie jar they can get a hold of. And it ain't just China.
They want to be the biggest economy in the world, and they see that the future is crypto economics. That is the next evolution of money. My new pitch, I tell people who are struggling with their whether they're hodlers or they're day traders or whatever you are, we are pioneers of the neo economy, right? I call it the prolo capitalism, right? We're taking the convergence of a whole big portion of capitalism with some democratic socialism. And that part is that people retain their rights to their shit, right? Like you as the developer, you retain your rights more. As a content creator, you retain your rights to that content. And that's the beauty of the blockchain and what crypto brings to space is that you then can protect your money and you retain your rights to your shit. And that's what to me is the evolution of the space that's so mind-blowing that people who get it are already there, and it's moving faster and faster. With China saying what they're saying, if you guys have looked at the hash power chart, I don't know if you guys do, but I always check it like once every day, usually before I go to bed. There is a movement on that hash power chart that tells me that literally there is a shit ton of miners that are about to come online, because there's in the last like 2 weeks an anomaly on that chart that I don't see anywhere else on the last 2 years. And I'm telling you, BTC is about to go nuts in the next 10 months.
Tell us more about that anomaly. I mean, I used to look at the hash chart all the time. I haven't probably in at least 6 months. What are you seeing?
I actually have a picture on my phone, and then I can reference it a little bit better, so I'm not talking out of the side of my butt. Give me 1 sec, because I always do this just to have reference materials. So if you look at the hash power chart in the last couple of weeks, I noticed a pattern happening where it was like every month, and then it was kind of lining up with the futures contracts, that there was a dip. So I was having this theory that is there maybe somebody possibly that knows some big mining farm? They're calling them up like, yo, go offline for like 12, like Enron shit. You know what I mean? Like go offline for like a day, which is there's like a 5% probability. I'm speculating with that. So that's just me speculating. But in the last couple of days, there was a dip down to like a really low number, like the lowest it's been in probably like 6 weeks. And then that's happened twice. And then if you're just looking at the chart, just on the last 6 maybe weeks or so, you can see that pattern a couple of times. Then you look at the last 2 years, even all the way back to like December of 2017, and you won't see this kind of movement. So what it tells me is that there's either a big movement going down or up. And in my opinion, with all this, news with China, I'm thinking up. Like, let's just be realistic here. And NEO, just look at NEO alone. NEO's going up like 98% in like 6 weeks. Not even.
Get
like
your fucking moon tickets. Tell you that much.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just letting people know, like, there's going to be many coins. Bitcoin is the king. I tell people, look at it this way. Bitcoin and Ethereum is like AC and DC. If you're looking at power, both became integral into the future of our societies. Bitcoin and Ethereum are integral. Look how many banks I tell people Ethereum's working with, from the Russian banks to Spanish banks to French banks to Canadian banks to
Jerry,
Microsoft.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry. Hey, Jerry.
Reel me in.
Dude, you need to start a podcast. Seriously.
Well,
no, I'm serious. You need to do YouTube videos or a podcast. You would be off the freaking charts, dude. I mean, seriously. Oh my God, dude, your energy right now is off the charts.
Well, I have a private group, and you can come into my private group, but I keep it private for a reason. I was born in the 2017, so it's like I've seen so many of those guys get like smashed, like their money taken, like from Ian Bellina back in 2017, from like, just like, and obviously he made mistakes while he's making those videos, and you can have better operational security to protect against those kind of things. But I just said, like, I let people know, if you want to be in my private Telegram group, just go to the Rhythmatician on Twitter. It's at GER313. The link is up there. I only have like 10 or 12 people in there, but Matty Greenspan from eToro just joined the other day, and he's been following me for a long time, and he respects my opinion, and that says a lot to me. And I love the guy, and I think we feel the same about a lot about crypto.
I like eToro. When it comes to your time on Twitter, like, I can only remember running across each other probably about 2 months ago. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how did our paths cross? I'm curious as to how
I've seen your videos for a while, like on Twitter, like your little clips I've seen for a while. I just started following you probably maybe like 6 months ago, and then I watched one of your videos where you were just talking to some guy who's just like, yeah, come on the show. I don't care if you don't know anything about crypto. I want to talk to anybody about crypto. And I was like, hey, let's see if they're actually, they're having people on, because I've tried to do this like about a year ago, and I just didn't have the time, and stuff didn't happen right. And but this year I'm just trying to get on more and more people's podcasts, because I think there's plenty of podcasts out there, to be honest with you. I think your guys' podcast is awesome, and there's a whole bunch of them out there. I don't think there needs to be one more, just like there doesn't be any more exchanges. I don't think there needs to be any more crypto podcasts. But you can join my group. And what I put in that group is really cool stuff. I put pictures and articles, and I do little just interviews of me talking about the news and my speculations and theories. And I've been spot on. I tell people, from like the craziest shit. Like one time in I think it was like 2018, I was like, the only way XRP is going to go up to like $5 or $10 is if somebody loses their keys, or somebody dies in the company and they lose like their keys, and like a couple 100 million go missing. And the dude died like 5 days later. I was like, what the fuck? I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit, that's insane. And then XRP did go up to like $5 or some shit like that. But I love this space, and there's so many things that people aren't talking about that gets on my nerves. Like every day, there's so many ways to earn free crypto, like Lolly, like this new one I'm doing is called Ibotta. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ibotta, but I have I put up a QR code on my wall on Twitter if you want to check it out. But basically, you can take receipts, every shit you buy already. You just
my wife used to use that for groceries, I think.
Yeah, exactly. They give you money back, and you can hook your PayPal account up to it. And guess what? You can hook your PayPal account up to Coinbase, and then you can literally get more free Bitcoin. Like, boom, like right there.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, that's why Lolly is doing such an awesome job, like you said, because, like, I mean, they used to work for Ebates, right? So they took that platform, and instead of getting fiat cash, they gave you fucking Bitcoin. Like, how does it get better than that? You know?
Oh, yeah.
And I know, like, when I first got in, well, okay, so I shouldn't say first. When I first got into crypto, I had a little miner and I mined a little bit of Bitcoin. But when I first got involved, like in crypto Twitter, and I got hooked in the whole thing and realized that there was more to crypto than just Bitcoin, my actual way I got my first XRP was through, I think it was like earncrypto.com or something. I haven't been on there in a long time. I don't even know if it still exists, but it was one of those stupid little things where you can go do little tests or watch videos, and they pay you like a portion of their ad money with crypto. And I ended up earning like 9 XRP. It was like 90 cents at the time, 80 cents, some shit like that. And
nice.
I mean, that was probably like a month worth of just fucking around with it every once in a while and spending way too much time earning minuscule amounts of XRP. But that kind of stuff gets you hooked, brings you in.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I did a lot of testing back in the bull run in 2017. So I like to thank the Saddington brothers. Those guys have really inspired me to like just keep learning and like learning about coding and learning that anyone can be a developer. But, you know, like there's people out in the space that don't realize like you can be a developer. You're building on top of Bitcoin, or you're building on top of Ethereum. You didn't design Ethereum, you didn't design Bitcoin, but you can make something on top of it. It can be done. And like there's just so much that people have to realize, like why cryptocurrencies and what Satoshi was thinking, like why Python is so important. Like one argument nobody's talking about from a programming perspective is like, look at why nice hash versus canonical hash. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those terms in development, but it's basically the way Python calculates the function of rounding up numbers, right? So a nice hash, it basically goes to the tenths, hundredths, thousands, and then if it's 5,000, they're up, it rounds up. If it's down, it rounds down. But in a canonical hash, it can go up to, 8, 16, 32 zeros like Bitcoin. And if people understand why that's so precise, like that's the Python's used in the atomic clocks that they use for GPS. That's why they can go to 32 zeros deep, and it's so precise. And if you have the precision with your money, guess what? You have precision money. You're not wasting it. Some of these old registers, which people have no idea about, some of these old POS terminals lose pennies. And if you have hundreds of stores, and then there's also, let's just look at like Fred Meyer up the road. It's like 30 registers open on any given day. All those registers open up hundreds of times a day. Humans make mistakes. You lose hundreds of thousands of dollars every year just from human errors. You take that out and you have this beautiful thing called a canonical hash, and you have precision money, almost zero waste, almost zero friction. Your profit margin goes up, your loss column goes down. It's a win-win. And the banks are all starting to realize this shit. And that's why XRP is signing all these deals with banks. And Ethereum is, and all these cryptocurrencies. And I tell people, look, am I a long-term hodler of XRP or XLM? No, because I think the public blockchains long-term win. Because eventually I think that the private blockchains will eventually have problems. And when the confidence is lost, then all the money goes back into the public blockchain space. And Bitcoin and Ethereum, again, win some more. But right now, you can see that all the banks are running to, either XRP or XLM. And rightfully so. Them trying to build their own cryptocurrency. I made fun of Zuckerberg when it came out. I tell people, Mark's way out of his depth here, folks. This is not like building a social media platform, making a decentralized blockchain. You just don't snap your fingers and poof, you have a fully functional decentralized system. Like, it's not how it works. And I told people, I don't even think Libra will get built, but thanks for all the attention, Mark, because we loved it.
So, Gerry, tell us a little bit about yourself. What did you do before you got into crypto?
So I actually still work in retail. Daytime, I do work in retail management. I also worked for AT&T for 3 years. I've been in technology, and I love technology ever since I was a little kid. Low-end technology, high-end technology, it never really mattered. I just love futurism, I guess is the term. And I have a degree in political science. I have a minor in U.S. history, a specialty in macroeconomics. And I just, like I said, I love the space. I moved out to the West Coast because I knew I either wanted to work in either solar or maybe Tesla or Apple or something like that. And then I found cryptocurrency, and that as soon as like I said, I had that Litecoin moment, I was like, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Were you a Legos guy or were you a erector set guy?
I was a Legos guy. I did have both, but I preferred Legos. I mean, I think everyone had Legos more, but I preferred Legos.
Were you into the Star Wars Legos?
Well, I mean, who didn't like Star Wars and Star Wars Legos? Like,
right?
Come on, like, it's like a winning combo.
Right? Everybody did, right?
Or the G.I. Joe.
Yeah. See, I did both. I did Legos and erector sets, and I think the erector sets where you could actually use the gears and start making things move, and that was way before Lego had gears and stuff like that with little motors, and they've come so far. I don't know. I think that those things right there, those building fundamentals that we get as kids, play a lot into our technology mindset as we get older. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I'd have to think about that more, I would think, but I would say there was some truth to that.
From a creativity standpoint, right? Because when you're doing tech and you're into developing things or you're into writing code, stuff like that, you got to think outside the box more often than not, which stems mostly from creativity, right? So when we're kids and we have those toys that we played with, those building blocks and those Legos, it forced us to use our creative side of our minds. And I think, I think a lot of that has changed over the years. So what would you say today's mindset for the youth? What's the most powerful to them right now that help them in their technological future?
Well, I think that there's a lot more parents that are realizing that you have to start letting your kids like realize, or they're coming to terms that technology is a part of the future, and they have to start teaching that in school. We have to actually like start getting focused more on math and engineering, and why it's important, robotics and AI and cryptocurrencies. Like, I'm happy that I see there's a couple books out there, kids book, it's out there teaching kids about Bitcoin, because I think it's very important that people understand. I think one of the best things I've ever learned after getting into cryptocurrency is to actually start handling my finances. Like, I actually like open up my bills now, like early. I'm like, all right, let's get these things taken care of so I can go see how much money I have left so I can go invest that money into cryptocurrencies, right? So
right.
It makes you very financially responsible. And people don't talk about that, I think, more.
Unless you get hooked on BitMEX and then you go the opposite direction.
Well, I tell, in my group, which
it's
I
all
do
about
tell
responsibility,
my group,
right?
Yeah, well, I tell people in my group, I teach midterm to long-term investment strategies to cryptocurrency. I don't never leverage trade, no binary options, none of that stuff. You'll just lose your money and you'll be mad. It's just like gambling. If you want to go gamble, go to the casino. That's I tell people, don't do it with your Bitcoin. Don't do it with your Ethereum. Don't do it. Maybe do it if you want to go with your dApps with some Tron and it's, whatever. It's like a couple pennies. Who cares? but don't go waste your Bitcoin or your Ethereum or, any other top 25 good crypto out there that's decent and worth sitting on. It's just not worth it. Learn the technology, learn about cold storage, learn how to, move cryptocurrency around. Like, people don't even know like how to buy stuff with it yet. And it can be done. You have to jump through some hoops, but let's be very clear that there's one thing that I don't hear on these podcasts. Cryptocurrency is money. When you can buy a Lamborghini with it, or what was it the other day? I think some guy just got paid for $15 million for a downtown Manhattan apartment. It's money. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I see. That's something we talk about all the time. Like, anytime Mitch and I get into the tax argument, it's like, it's a fucking currency. It's not an investment asset. Okay. It's a different thing. It's a different class of asset. And until you start seeing that, and until you start forming legislation around what it really is, we're not going to get anywhere. And so that's the importance of adoption, is because if you don't use it as a currency, then nobody's going to see that it's a currency. So you have to actually use it. And I know everybody's like, well, don't sell your crypto. Don't hold it. Don't spend it because you're selling it. Even Matt Center from Lolly said he thinks that spending your crypto is irrelevant because you should hodl it. You got to hold it. But at the same time, you got to fucking spend it. Spend your money, buy it back. It's a currency. Buy it back. It's an ecosystem.
Yeah, no, it is the ecosystem. And there will always be people speculating. There will always be people trading it. There's always be people using it. And when you have all those things compiled, like Mayer would say, then you start to have all these network effects. Then you really start to have this true ecosystem. And the value, that's where the value starts to build up from the incentivization.
Oh, shit, Mitch, you hear that? It is time for trending hashtags.
Oh, trending hashtags.
All right, so today on Twitter, we've got my favorite 90s song and why.
My favorite 90s song and why. Okay,
Jerry,
so
you're up first.
So, Jerry, what's your favorite 90s song and why?
Oh, well, it would have to be Pearl Jam. I'm Still Alive, just because that's like my generation's like theme jam. And
it should be the fucking theme song of Crypto Twitter from 2018.
And when I was in college, my fraternity, that was our song too, because it kind of just like fit our fraternity's name. It was kind of weird, but it just did. And that's why.
That's amazing. Mitch, what's your favorite 90s song?
My favorite 90s song is Here I Go Again.
There you go.
By Whitesnake. Definitely that.
That was 90s?
That
I figured that was like
91.
late 80s. I guess that was early 90s, wasn't it?
It was, it rolled
I was
over.
2
It was
3,
like 89 into 90. So yeah, I'd say it was definitely. It started.
I read it all into the 80s because like I got my obsession with hair metal in like middle of high school. So.
But you got to remember that's all I listened to was the 80s music, even in the early 90s. So I didn't really start listening to other music until say mid 90s. So yeah. And Here I Go Again just kind of describes so many aspects of times in my life. Here we go again.
Nice. That's awesome.
So yeah. Jerry, when you get a chance, obviously we're definitely going to check your group out there. I'm curious as to see what you're all about, but I'd also like to throw this out there. If you get around to it, look up our Cerebro project. It's a project that the professor and I are really deeply involved in. And we took this project over. When was that, Professor? In April or May?
It's been a while now, yeah.
So we took this project over. So if you're all about, having a good structure for new people coming into the space, check out what we're looking to do. You might find some good interest in that.
Cool. No, definitely. I just wrote it down.
And one other thing, have you ever used a crypto ATM?
I have not used one yet, just because when I moved out here, there's like not one near me. The closest one near me, I think, is about an hour and a half away, and I buy all my crypto on exchanges. And
are you near a big town?
The town I live in is it's a decent sized town, but it's about an hour and 20 minutes away from Portland. We're like right on the coast there.
So what would you see? Would you see the possibility of a crypto ATM in your area?
Like I thought about it. I definitely thought about it. I just think there needs to be just a little bit more adoption and a little bit more than 10 to 15% of America who knows about crypto. I think once we get it to like a 50% tipping point.
But let me ask you this, Gerry, what brings the question to somebody other than seeing something? In other words, if I didn't know about crypto and I walked into a gas station or a liquor store or a grocery store for that matter, and I seen this ATM and it said coin flip ATM on it, it was a cryptocurrency ATM. Do you not think I would want to at least look into what that was? And that move in itself would help spark adoption?
I think what sparks adoption is what you do, where you talk to people everywhere you go, which is what I do.
Right.
And sometimes I get a talking to at work for doing it. Some guy called a couple of weeks ago asking about Bitcoin. I was like, dude, I can't talk about this on the phone here.
Right.
But I'm always talking about it. I can turn any conversation into crypto. One more thing, because I know you guys are trying to head out, that I do lobby for crypto. I call up my governor, I call up senators, congressmen. I try to hit up the finance minister of India, not kidding, called their office, called up the IMF. So if anyone wants to donate to my cause, I have a BTC wallet address on my Twitter feed as well. And I'm literally, want to help convince the rest of the world that this is a big thing. There's a lot of problems with the traditional systems that people don't know about. If you're not familiar with Eternal Blue, guys need to go look that up and talk about that. Maybe I can come back and start talking. We can have a podcast about all the holes in the old systems that cryptocurrency fixes.
That sounds like a plan. So ultimately where I was going was to see if there was room, or if you thought there'd be room for a coin flip ATM in that area.
Oh, heck yeah.
Coin flip, I don't know if you're aware, but coin flip has the lowest fees in the market. And they just actually became number one in the world as far as how many crypto ATMs that are out there. So,
oh, nice.
Let me ask you this. I've used them, so I don't know if you've used them or not, but if you ever did, you would realize, there's a little bit of a fee or a price difference, but not really that much between, say, Coinbase or the other ways of buying crypto. But the simplicity of it and somebody having access to it and can walk up and just buy cryptocurrencies right now. That's a huge tool for us to use towards the spread of adoption. I know you've seen the seed card movement, and yes, I do talk to a lot of people about crypto, just like you, because I'm passionate about it. But I think using specific tools, and crypto ATMs is a perfect one, as well as the seed cards, helps to put it in people's face, so to speak, and actually come up with more avenues for people to access it. So I think if there is room for one in your area, get a hold of myself or get a hold of JMac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, totally.
I think there's a few coin flips in Oregon. I don't know where you are specific. I know you said you're like an hour and a half from Portland. There's two of them in Portland. There's one south of there in Eugene, or close to it, I believe. Sorry, Gerry, for having to cut this a little bit short, but we
No.
Had a interesting situation this afternoon where I was supposed to go pick my son up from a robotics club. So I get to school to pick him up, and he's not there. He's nowhere to be found.
Ooh.
Can't find him. No idea what's going on.
Oh, shit.
And he decided that he was going to skip it, ride the bus home, and then sneak into his bedroom because it's right by the back door and not tell his mother that he was home. So I spent 20 minutes wandering around the school up and down the hall searching for a child. So
looking for a ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Good times. But I think we are going to have to set another one of these up eventually and get some more, because you got all kinds of good information. We definitely want to check out your group, talk to you a little bit more, talk to some of your friends, and it's all about the community and making new connections. So.
All right, Gerry. Hey, thanks for joining us today. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Oh, thank you, man.
Really
thank
enjoy
you
your enthusiasm and your excitement. It's
seriously, man.
It's catchy.
It was refreshing.
Thank you, guys.
So many people come on here and they're just trying to recover from the day and they're just totally out of energy. And it's really refreshing to have somebody who's got a lot to say and a lot of
I appreciate your time, guys. I love chatting with you. And like I said, I'd love to come back and talk more about macroeconomics and micro retail applications. They're holes, because there's tons of those holes that are so much fun.
Definitely.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. We'll look forward to that one. We'll talk to you soon, Gerry.
Okay, take care.
Have a good one, man. Thank you again.
Bye-bye.
Holy crap. Talk about energy, man.
Oh my goodness. Whew.
I'm still trying to take a breath and recover.
For him.
Yes.
Oh my God, his energy was just
it.
off the hook. I love it. I mean, so many podcasts that we do where sometimes we're struggling to keep conversation flowing, but oh my goodness, this one was off the charts. It was awesome.
It was amazing. And I mean, he's got a lot of good ideas or interesting ideas, things that, you know, kind of resonate with the both of us, I think, about how to spread adoption and how to bring people into the space and educate them and what the future might look like for crypto. So kind of excited to see what becomes of his hash rate anomaly. You know, I always like seeing if people's predictions come true. You know, and I know there could be a million other reasons why, but you know, if Bitcoin skyrockets, thanks, Gerry.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Hell yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's gotta happen. I'm telling you, this month, something's gonna happen this month. I just get this feeling. I'm watching the price movements and it just doesn't seem, nothing seems right now. Nothing is where it should be right now. It really isn't. So I'm really curious as to how much true manipulation is happening behind the scenes.
Well, we're going to find out. We'll see what happens. I think this end of this year is going to be one of those ones where we get a nice little spike and everything seems like it's going to go to the moon. And then it's going to chill back down. And I think, you know, like we've talked about before, I think 2020 is probably when our next really big move is going to come. And I legitimately think we're going to see 50K. Do I have any logical basis for that? Fuck no. I think we're going to see $50,000.
Let me ask you this, and this is a tough question. If you had one Bitcoin worth of Bitcoin right now, and obviously its value is right around $9,000, right? If this month or even in December, if Bitcoin hit 27,000, would you 25,000, 20,000, would you sell it?
I mean, honestly, it's really hard to say because it's really easy for me to say right now, yeah, I would sell it and take my profits and be a responsible person. But I also know what has happened in the past when, you know, not that high stakes, but, you know, I've had 500 or 1,000 sitting there riding on a pretty big pump and I don't cash out in time, you know, and it happens because you know that it's got another leg and then it drops and then you're like, oh, but this is just that it's going to go back up and then it drops more. And you get to the point where like it hurts to sell. And sometimes you don't because you're confident. And so I can sit here and say all day, that's what you should do. Yeah, you should.
When you sell it and then it turns back up again, you're like, ah! Have you ever seen that meme that I posted?
It's stressful.
With that guy and he's sitting at his computer and they're fucking, it's like you got somebody messing with you, right? And they're, okay, pump it. And it goes up and he got FOMO. All right, cut the cord. And it all drops out and he's like freaking out and then it goes back up. Yeah, that's so like, oh my God, I don't want to get into that position. I was just curious because honestly, I would take some profit. Let's say I was holding one solid Bitcoin at $9,000 and it went up to $20,000. I think anybody would be silly not to take some kind of profit, even if it was $1,000, right? Some kind of percentage.
We all know that we need to,
but I haven't so often in the past, right? But I mean, historically, is it going to continue this up and down, or is it going to just continue going up? That's the question.
Well, at some point, sure, it always has. Every time it's gone on a big pump, it continued going up, and it just came down not quite as far afterwards. So, you know, it's going to happen again, you know, and probably going to miss the peak because, let's be honest, if you look at the charts and all the times that it's gone up, it's gone to a number where this question would be valid. Like when it was 1,500 or 2,000, and then all of a sudden it was at 10,000, and then it was at 14,000, and then 15, and then 18, and then, you know, there was a lot of those points where it hit. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm just making these specific numbers up just for the format. But let's say it hit 14,000, then it reset for like 4 or 5 days before it went to the next big peak and hit 20 grand. So
it's like this past summer. This past summer, I was holding Bitcoin from 3,300, from 4,500, and all of a sudden, remember in the early summer, it shot up to 14,000. Oh my God, am I kicking myself for not taking a little bit of profit? I didn't take any, but I don't know. It'll
come back to that. So
I know it will, and that's what I'm saying. Do you sell or do you just wait until it comes back and buy some more?
That's the thing. I mean, do you think it really comes down to how long term you're in this, right? And how much risk you're willing to assume. Because even if you're long term, you can significantly increase your position if you sell at the right time and then buy back when it gets down lower. But there's a risk involved in that too, because if you sell at the wrong time and then it quadruples right after that.
Yeah. Right.
So if you believe in it long term and you're not worried so much about making a bunch of money, then do like what a lot of traders suggest and take a percentage. Like tell yourself, when I'm in the green by this percent, I'm going to take 10% profits.
Right.
So if we see a moonshot, and set your numbers, like if it hits $15,000, I'm going to sell $1,000 or I'm going to sell $500 worth. And then say, okay, if it hits $50,000, I'm going to sell maybe 20% more or something like that. Just set. I think that's probably the best way to do it, and then stick to it, because you're never going to get it just right. There's no way, unless you're a really good trader and you get really lucky. Yeah, you just have to be disciplined, and you have to force yourself to take those profits and not be greedy, because the greed is really the only factor there. If you need to take profits or really want to, but you hold on to it, it's because you're just trying to get that extra little bit, which is okay. And that's not like a unacceptable level of greed, but you just have to, take a breath and take a little bit and let it happen and not worry too much.
I have one more opinionated question for you.
Opinionated question away, my friend.
Okay. So if you took your crypto, let's just use Bitcoin since we're talking about it, right? And you traded it for USDT, right?
Yeah.
Now, would that be considered realizing a gain because you put it in a stable coin?
Are we talking from IRS standpoint?
No,
or
we're
from
just talking here. I mean,
realistic standpoint.
Because did you cash out if you sold it into USDT, or if you traded it into USDT? Did you cash out?
As far as the IRS concerned, you cashed out if you traded it for fucking Ethereum. So,
really?
Yeah, trading it for any other asset, crypto or otherwise.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but did I trade dollars or did I trade Bitcoin?
Well, that's the thing. It's dollars according to the IRS, because you have to go by your basis. You figure out your cost basis, which is all figured in dollars. So all of your calculations from a tax standpoint have to be done in dollars. So you have to figure out what the dollar value was of the asset when you purchased it and what the dollar value was of it when you sold it or traded it. And then if that's a profit, that's a gain that you have to pay capital gains tax on. And if it's,
but that's assuming it's an asset and not currency, right?
Right, but that's what they are taxing it as at this point in time.
Yeah.
So regardless of how bullshit it is, that's what it is right now.
I know, it's just a sad reality. Whatever. I don't know why you got into this conversation, because I
should have just said no, Mitch. It's not. You didn't sell it. Sell all your Bitcoin for whatever the fuck you want, and don't pay any taxes and see what happens.
Right? No, come on. Anyway,
not financial advice.
No, definitely not. I'm just, I don't know.
Well, minor detail. But anyway, man, that was a good podcast. And I wish we could have made it last a little bit longer, but having to start late kind of threw us off. We'll definitely get another one in. We'll see what else he's got up his sleeves. I think he's got some more unique ideas to let us hear out. So
hell yeah.
Looking forward to it, guys. Make sure to check out coinflip.tech. Check out the map, see if there's a CoinFlip ATM in your area. If there's not one in your area, let us know, or let CoinFlip know, or let JMac know. Start looking around, see if you can find a place to place one. Just get them out there. If there is one in your area, go use it. Go try it out. Post a video, put it on Twitter, and tag us in it. We got a giveaway coming up pretty soon. Oh, that's right. So keep your eyes open, guys. We're gonna have a giveaway here within the next week or so. And it's going to be, you're not going to want to miss this one. It is a good one. it's not even just like merch or tokens. This is
No.
this one's pretty cool. So yeah, and we've got a couple in fact coming up if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So,
actually, we do.
Hell yeah, keep an eye out, guys. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any feedback. We're really looking forward to hear what you think about what we're doing. Leave us an iTunes review.
Please.
Yes, please leave us an iTunes review. Please.
Right. And if you're not on our YouTube, subscribe for us.
Please. Cherry on top.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy.
Peace.